Okay, preparing live stream. Hello, everybody. I'm not sure you can hear me now. Welcome to Funny Female Physicians and Patients edition, the patients only edition. I think we're here. Okay.
This is the waiting room
We're
edition.
on now. All right, cool. All right, so welcome to the Funny Female Physicians and Patients edition. Only, this is only the patients. Well, your host Helene will explain all that. So I'm Danny Decci and co-producing the show with Helene Witt. So let me introduce your host of the day. It's Helene Witt.
Yay. All right.
Thank you. What a bust. I mean, I feel like I had a party and nobody came. I mean, the doctors are not in the house. As Bruce said, this is the waiting room. When you wait for your doctor, I'm going to brush it off. I'm not offended that none of the doctors showed up who promised to be here. So I had to get my best friends to come instead. Gotta laugh, Linda. You gotta laugh. Well, thank you, Danny, for taking time out of your busy work schedule, which is behind you. Your boss is watching this, wondering why you're not doing your work because Helene pulled you off your work. Anyway, Linda just left the show, so now nobody likes to be my friend or be on my show. Bruce just joined the show, and hopefully maybe Tom could join the show. Anyway, I wanted to say that I'm not a doctor. I have a master's degree from St. John's. It was so easy to get. All I had to do in 1973 was to take a cigar box, put some macaroni on top of it, spray painted with gold spray, instant master's degree for education, elementary education. And then they had a syllabus. I had to read The Little Prince. It was this big. I picked the smallest book. I read then they gave us math cubes, the Cuisenaire rods, and we played with them for a while. I got my master's degree. I took the degree and stirred it up in some instant broth, and I had my instant master's in elementary education. Now you know the secret to how I got my master's degree. I hardly am a doctor. When I get sick, I ask other people what to do. Right now, I have a little problem. It has to do with sitting down and hurting and itching, but I won't go into it in front of the YouTube. Linda will probably have to find out when she sees my medicine all over the bathroom, have to hide it. Okay, now you know what's wrong with me. Oh, I want to tell you what happened in Manhattan. You know, Danny, I know you live in San Francisco, but we have something when you have a Chevy, it's called OnStar, and it's a human GPS, okay? So I was in Manhattan one Sunday, and you think, oh, Manhattan on a Sunday, how crowded could it be? And it was during the COVID crisis, and I pressed my OnStar to go home from Fifth Avenue and Fifth Street. That's where I was. Fifth Avenue and Fifth Street. And I pressed the OnStar, and there's a message, and it says, your OnStar operators are working from home. So if you hear a baby cry, please be patient. We're working from home right now. Well, I press the button and Bridget answers, and she's hiccuping. Oh, hello, this is Bridget. And I hear mimosa glasses clanking in the background, and they're throwing French toast around. They were having a brunch. She wasn't babysitting in her house. No, she went to brunch. And Bridget was half cocked out of her mind. Hello, may I help you? I said, hello, Bridget. They know your name too. Hello, Miss Witt. Well, Bridget, I'm in Manhattan and I'd like to go home. I'm at Fifth Avenue and Fifth Street. Well, Bridget thinks she's in Boise, Idaho. She thinks it doesn't matter if you get it mixed up, if you say Sixth Avenue and Sixth Street. Well, that could be 3 hours in Manhattan because I was in the middle of the gay pride parade. Next thing you know, they're rocking my car back and forth, back and forth. I said, look, I have a flannel shirt in the trunk. I could go put it on. I blasted, I pressed the button, my window came down, I blasted Katy Perry's I Kissed a Girl and I Liked It. They wouldn't stop rocking my car. Not that there's anything wrong with them, but why did they have to do this to my car? So then I had an idea. I said, I'm Melissa Etheridge's mother. In fact, I'm a justice of the peace. So when she got married, I married my own daughter to her wife. Please let me go. Well, they finally let me go. And I said, Bridget, next time you answer the phone, don't put on that recording that says our operators might be home with their baby because you are at brunch drunk out of your mind. I'm better off with Waze or Google. I finally got home. Danny, I live 14 miles from there. It took me 3 hours to go around that block. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Well, you've been a very nice audience. I now want to bring up our next comic to the show. And by the way, you can watch the show on YouTube. You can tell your friends it'll be on Danny's YouTube channel forever. In fact, he has a lot of fans who watch them at their leisure from New York. Our next comic is very nice to come on. He's like a doctor because he's very knowledgeable, unlike myself in the medical field. He studied physical education. He built gyms around the country. He also knows a lot about bodybuilding and the human body. He knows so much. I can't even begin to tell you how much he's helped me. His name is Bruce Lipsky. He's played all over New York, Long Island, New Jersey, nursing homes, television. I can't even go on and on how many credits this man has. Bruce Lipsky.
Thank you, thank you. I'm glad I have credits and not creditors, you know? Very important. Yeah, actually, you're talking about doctors. My wife's gynecologist just opened up a restaurant. Mainly serving breakfast. I asked, what's the specialty sandwich there? And he said, an everything bagel with a pap smear. And there's another group of doctors that just opened up a restaurant, stomach doctors. You know, these new restaurants are out there. They've been gastro pubs where they have the fancy food and all the drinks and everything. But my stomach doctor just opened one up. He's calling it the gastrointestinal pub. That's a very successful place. You can tell by the laughter. And there's another restaurant that just opened up by former inmates from the prison. They're calling it Confusion. And that's not going to do too well either based on the laughter.
No.
But anyway, you know, can I tell you, I have some friends that are ghosts. Really ghosts. And they just bought a haunted house. And so as a welcoming gift, I got them a gift certificate for Bed Bath and the Great Beyond. Yeah, all good stuff. I tell you, there's another restaurant that opened in my town. I'm into restaurants today. It was an Indian restaurant called Sam Rat. Sam Rat. So I looked up what Sam Rat meant in Hindu. It means king or emperor. All I know, when you combine Sam and Rat together in my restaurant or my neighborhood, it means something totally different. Yeah. So anyway, they actually went out of business. And I suggested what they do is they open up as a kosher restaurant. And they did. Now they're calling themselves Ben's New Delhi. Yeah. Did I tell you I'm into golfing? Yeah, golfing. I just became a scratch golfer. Somebody asked me how I became a scratch golfer. I said, plenty of patience, plenty of practice, and plenty of poison ivy. And my uncle has never played golf before. So I figured I'd take him out in the course. I told him, you know, I'll pick up the greens fees if he picks up the caddy. So he called me up at 6 o'clock in the morning and said, Bruce, I don't think I'm going to be coming over. Hertz didn't have any caddies. All they had was Volkswagen Golf. Is that okay? And my neighbor just became a golfer. He's not the best golfer in the world. And I think he must have worked in the deli. Because every time he gets on the course, he's always slicing his balls.
Oh boy.
Boy, I tell you. Yeah, it's tough. I'm doing a lot of puns today. I tell you about a friend of mine who he is actually a mathematician and just bought a farm upstate New York. So when I went up there, I asked him, you know, what do you use to plow your fields? A John Deere? He says, no, a protractor. Did you hear? I was in Coney Island recently and there was a big fire on the pier. and the fun house burnt down. Now all that's left is just smoke and mirrors. I'm killing it today.
I hope you're insured.
My uncle was a lawyer. He just retired recently, and he decided to start a new career. And he went to culinary school, and he found his perfect job, sous chef. Tell me now, did I tell you that I have an aquarium? I have a really big aquarium in my house, and I have the smartest fish in the world. One of my fish just graduated medical school. Now he's a board certified sturgeon. And the other one just got his trade school certificate, and now he's a certified locksmith. And the other one just became an audiologist because he's good at herring. Yeah. Oh, did I tell you about my other? I don't know how much time I'm supposed to be doing here today. You got to tell me when I have 30 minutes left or so.
Total?
So anyway, a friend of mine, she works as a stripper. And lately she's been getting terrible wrist pain every time she puts on her fishnet stocking. I suggested that she goes to see the doctor. She went to the doctor, and the doctor found out what her problem is. She's got carpal tunnel syndrome. Yeah. And another friend of mine who's an exotic dancer, and she's got 54 double Ds. And she's like 65 years old now, and the things are starting to sag a little bit, and she's very depressed over that. So I suggested that she sees a professional. So she went to see a psychiatrist. The psychiatrist, to relieve her anxiety, suggested that you get an emotional support bra. I'm doing it today. I'm doing it. Yeah. I tell you about my diner in town. They just hired a new short order cook. But I think this guy must have worked as a baseball umpire, because every time he makes pancakes, he's always yelling, "Batter up, batter up." Yeah. How much more time do I have? 28 minutes? I just want to know.
Yeah, just a couple, wrap it up, but take your time.
That's okay. I tell you about my wife. You know, sometimes she doesn't make the best decisions. She just took a bread baking class. And I'm starting to question one of her recipes. You know, I never knew soda bread should be made with Pepsi. No wonder why I get indigestion every time I eat that bread. Yeah. And I was at my chiropractor the other day, and he handed me a bill. I said, "This bill is all wrong." He looked at it and said, "You know, you're right. I'll make the adjustment." I'll end on that note because I got a half a laugh.
Thank you, Bruce, for coming on. You didn't even know you were in the show, but I had it in my mind that you could be a doctor at any moment, because Linda's also not an MD, but she's always welcome on the show. And we want to welcome Georgia to the show again. Here she is. Georgia, we're going to bring Linda up, and then you, and then our headline is going to come up, okay?
Okay.
Has played all over. She'll be in New York tomorrow. She's going to perform everywhere you can imagine. She's going to find people on the street to bring, and New York will never be the same without, New York will never be the same after the arrival of Linda Marcus Smith from Vegas.
All right. Now you're talking.
Thank you so much. Let me hit record. You guys, I'm so glad to be here. I know that a lot of us aren't doctors. This is a doctors and patients, whatever. Oh my gosh. When you guys look at me, I know that you're thinking, she's had to exude a lot of patience in all those years. And it's true. It's true. I've had to, you have no idea all the things I've been through in my life that I've had to be patient about. Or, listen to this person over here and blow up. And then this person says, go back and clean that up and be nice, right? I know Georgia gets it. And Bruce.
Yeah.
Did you guys know that you can clean up more than your credit karma? You can clean up your real karma by forgiving people.
Mhm.
It's a superpower, Georgia, and that's why I don't look like I'm 140. I'm aging backwards. It's amazing. I've had so many things go wrong in my life. I had to write them all down. Yeah. You can forgive people and you can forgive what people do to you, but you don't forget. You better write them down before Alzheimer's kicks in. That's what I did. Do you know how many times I've gone around the sun? 7.2. No. I'm not good at math. I'm 72. Forget it. I should have practiced that joke. 72.2, whatever. I'll figure it out later. You know, I think Alzheimer's is kicking in. Yeah, I go to the doctor. I'm not a doctor, but I'm a patient, and I'm not all that patient. And let me explain. I have a lot wrong with me. I know, shocker. Not just physically, also mental. I got mental issues. Yeah. I have allergies to so many medicines and foods. I've got a brain injury, osteoporosis, arthritis. Do I need to go on? I need doctors badly. And not just for my social life. I need them for those scripts, you know? The ones that you write. Okay, never mind. I go to the VA because I also served our country. You're welcome. I go to the VA hospital. And you have to really be patient when you go there. And I go to the eye doctor. Simple thing like an eye doctor. You have to be patient. This little lady comes out into a sea full of men in the waiting room. She's wearing a white coat. She's very short, not because she's Asian. She's very short. She comes out in a white coat and she says, Mr. Smith, Mr. Smith. Okay, I'm triggered. I'm not a mister yet. I go, did you mean Linda? And she goes, yeah, follow me. So I'm following her and we get to the room for the exam and she gets out this little tiny wipey, you know, one of them alcohol swabs, like about this big. And she's gonna clean that big machine that looks at your eyeballs. She's gonna clean, it's like this huge, and she's gonna clean it with this. And I'm like, I don't have all week. Not that patient. Got the wrong patient here. She's cleaning and I'm sitting there. She gets done. You know what she does with this little alcohol wipe? Huh, Danny? Do you have any idea? Takes it to crumble it up in her hand to toss it in the trash can. It doesn't need to be crumbled. Can we all agree? The trash can is as tall as she is, not because she's Asian. She's the same. They're equal. She tosses it into the trash and it hits the floor. Then she turns around promptly to say, how's your eyesight? You just missed a basket, okay? You shouldn't have missed it. What do you mean? How am I gonna know if you can tell if my eyesight's any good? I have no confidence. Another time I go to the VA because I'm cheap and they have free acetaminophen and I was having pain. I'm not allergic to acetaminophen, so I see full of men in the pharmacy waiting room. And I said, I need some acetaminophen. And he's probably thinking, can't you get it at Walgreens? Yeah, I can, but I'm cheap. So he goes, okay, we'll call your number, have a seat. And so I sit down. They call me up, sea full of men sitting there. And the lady says, here's your acetaminophen. Do you want to have a pharmacy consult? I'm like, it's acetaminophen. It's not rocket science here. Well, you know what? Actually, yeah, I do. I need a consult. So he comes waddling out from the back room at a good government snail pace. And he looks at me from about 8 feet away from the glass. And he goes, "Can I help you?" And I said, I held up the acetaminophen bottle and I said, "Yeah, how much of this can you take in a day?" And he said, "Oh, don't worry. It's okay. I like working here. It's no big deal." Oh my gosh. And then I go to a shrink because, I got problems. And I've been telling her everything that means so much to me. She starts telling me, I swear on a stack of Bibles, Helene will verify. This lady started telling me she has everything I have. Number one, that's impossible. Number two, I'm going to start lying at some point just to test you. But I didn't. And so, when she just crossed the line by copying too many of my symptoms, that she's stealing all my symptoms. So I'm going to take her husband. Yeah, you guys think that I would do that? I wouldn't, because I'm from Portland. That would be aggressive. I'm passive aggressive. I taught my neighbor to steal her husband. That's what we do. That's not funny either. You guys are too loyal to your husbands or something. I don't know. Danny and Helene aren't even married. Anyway. So I know like I look like I've had life handed to me on a silver platter. I get it, but I haven't. For instance, I started comedy when I was really young, Georgia.
Yes.
Georgia.
Yes.
Yes. I started comedy very young at age 63. It's the new young, according to me. And you would think that I would get respect because I'm older, right? No. I have had comedy coaches listen to my jokes when I first started and tell me, quit saying so many words and get to the punchlines, And I was like, what? Stay off the premises. And I'm like, wait a minute. Do you mean don't come back? What are you talking? And it could have had two meanings. That's all I'm saying. Comics were really mean to me, Georgia. I'm telling you. I had to do sit-ups during my entire comedy set to get the young comics to listen. And the whole time I was doing sit-ups, they were just thinking, we just want her to do one curl up. Curl up and die already. That's my time. Thank you so much. I'll go back to trying to be patient now.
Thank you, Linda. That's funny. Stay off the premises. That's funny.
Thank you.
Everything was funny. It's just that one I like especially. Okay, it's not about me and what I like. I wanted to say that, Linda, you were talking about the ones who are married and their husbands. Well, poor Bruce is married, but he doesn't have a husband. He might have felt left out in that communication. And Georgia might tell you about her escapades when I introduce her. I met her on Pelham Avenue in New Rochelle a few years ago, right? At CJ Farrell's or whatever. You and I met. Yes. And I want to introduce a very funny lady. She came in as a winner in the contest, the Jody Oliver contest. Let's hear it for Georgia Metz.
Hi, everyone. Oh, it's been so much fun trying to get on the show. I tell you, God is challenging me. I'm over 60 and I have to learn new things. Oh boy, is it difficult. It's like being a nurse and having to learn something new. Well, I'm going to retire next week. Please don't teach me anything new. Okay. It's not going to increase my pay raise. I don't want to do it. I don't have a union, but I do this instead. Stay away from me. I don't want to do anything. So yes, I'm a nurse. I'm still a nurse. I'm not working now. So I'm starting to wonder if I should start changing my occupation. Go to the doctor and it says occupation. I put stand-up comedian. People are flipping out when they see that. Oh, you really do stand-up? I said, yeah, you want me to do a few jokes right now? I can entertain the people in the waiting room. I don't care what kind of medical office this is. It works in any kind of situation, whether it's a psychiatrist. Well, that's not true. I don't know if anyone's ever been to a psychiatrist, but their waiting room has like, you go through one door, but you never come back through that door because people want to keep it a secret. So there's always like a fire escape where the clients go after their session. Maybe that only happened to me, maybe because my psychiatrist was like really not even supposed to be practicing. So you could go in, but you never came out. You had to escape down the fire escape to get into your car, drive off. I said, no wonder why his prices were so cheap. He's not authorized by any insurance company. I mean, and who really wants to tell their insurance company they're seeing a psychiatrist? You know, there's still a stigma. I swear, I'm not joking. Every hospital I ever worked in has an EAP, Employee Assistance Program. It's available to you, but do you have the guts to use it? Do you have the guts to go to HR and say, I'm having a problem. I'm going to strangle the next stupid patient family member. So instead of doing that, can you hook me up with the therapist? They look at you like this. Georgia is acknowledging she's weak and undecided. Are we going to trust her with a patient with one foot on a banana peel and the other one in the grave? Oh, what are we going to do? Yes, I have to accept the help I'm being offered. Otherwise, you'll take it away. And then what? Now I'll have to go back to that psychiatrist and run down the fire escape after my session. So now you go to the therapist. This is true. You go to the therapist that they have a relationship with the hospital. You go in there, and I always go under a fake name. I have my favorite fake name that rhymes. Jenna Jameson. All right, I told everybody out there that's my name on CVS, Walgreens, A&P, Acme. It's all Jenna Jameson. That's my username. So I go to the therapist and I say, "Hi, I'm Jenna Jameson. I'm a critical care nurse working at blah, blah, blah hospital." And I look around for hidden cameras. I look for devices. I bring one of those, bugs-free wand. If there's a bug in the room, it lights up. Oh, wait a minute, doc. This is all confidential. You're not telling my manager anything, are you? So I always start slow with some fake BS story. Then when the doctor seems interested and I don't see them recording anything or changing any lenses of any kind of devices, then I start to tell them the truth. Then I sweat when I go home. Oh my God, are they calling my manager? Am I going to get fired? Isn't that ridiculous? They're offering help to me. They don't want me to take it though. So now I call, you know what I call the EAP? Eat another pizza. That's how they help us. Georgia, you have 4 critical patients. 3 of them are on a ventilator. The other one is waking up right now. Somebody went to lunch. Now you have those 3 patients. I have 7 patients to worry about. But here's a piece of pizza. I don't want you to quit. Oh, my God. You know what? I don't speak Italian, but I do a good curse verse. I rant in Italian, like some curse words. Nobody knows me. That's how I cope. Do you drink? Only on the way to and from work. I don't even have time to drink at work. No time to do anything. So Georgia, why did you retire? Did you see you see that rope mark around my neck? That's why, okay? I remind myself, I look in the mirror, oh, Georgia, don't go to work today. Do yourself a favor, all right? I don't think my insurance policy is going to pay out for assisted suicide. I assisted myself by using the step ladder. But otherwise, I'm tall enough to get around the pipe. You're 5'9", barefoot. Thanks, Mom. My mother was 5'1". She was 5 feet 1 inch. My father's 5'5". And I don't speak Italian. I said, Mom, you sure I wasn't adopted? Because this whole thing isn't working for me. I don't believe you. And then my mother's mother was 4'10". Mom, are you joking right now? Do I have to go to ancestry.com to find out the truth? You know what? I'm not going to go against my mother's word. That's how I was raised. If she said it was so, it was so. End of story. Okay? I went to Catholic grammar school, Catholic high school. Believe me when I tell you, talk about being bullied. Not only was I bullied in school, I was bullied by my own family members. Georgia, how can you do comedy? What if you get heckled? I said, it's like being at a family reunion. How the hell, what do I give a shit about being heckled? Hi, cousin. Hi, uncle. I'm glad you could make it. They heckled me the worst of anybody. Anyway, so Georgia, are you a good patient? No, I'm not. I go see my own doctor. He says, Georgia, when are you having a colonoscopy? I said, during my autopsy. Fuck out of here. I'm not doing any colonoscopy. I'm not doing it. Then I had plastic surgery done. Like I had some surgery done over here and a man saw it. Like, God forbid I had sex with the light on. Anyway, he saw this scar. He said, what's that? I said, I woke up during my autopsy. Okay. I'm not going to explain myself. I was feeling vain for a minute, and I'm tired of holding my stomach in. So I thought I'd go to a guy who was really crafty with a scalpel. He took care of it for me, right? Whatever. But being a patient, I love it. The doctor puts me in the room. The first person that's going to come and see you is the tech. They knock on the door. I go, come back in a few minutes. I'm busy. Have you ever thought about doing that? The doctor is knocking on the door. What are you knocking on the door for, Doc? I've been waiting 30 minutes. I'm taking a nap, actually. I turn the light out. I stretch out on the exam table. And then they come in. I go, you woke me up. Oh, I forgot I was here for an examination. They never admit to anything. One time when I was in the recovery room, this is a true story. I'm in the recovery room. I wake up from a simple procedure, but it required general anesthesia. All the nurses are in the corner of the room chatting away. I said, where the hell is my recovery room nurse? So I held my breath. I look at the monitor. Uh-oh. My heart rate is dropping. Uh-oh. My oxygen level is dropping. And now the alarm goes off and everybody jumps up in the air and they run over to my stretcher. Are you okay? Yes, I am now. Thanks for looking for me. I'm so happy that you're happy that I'm your patient. I mean, nurses are the worst patients. And nurses don't have any patience. At least I don't. I didn't have much patience at work. I certainly don't have any patience as an individual, in generally speaking. So I'm looking at the circle of life. Now, I have a grandchild. Don't tell anybody. So I'm looking at him and I'm saying, geez, I used to be that short too. I was that short too before I found out I come from a short family. But anyway, so when the kids are little, right, you spank them. I remember getting spanked by my mother. Spanked me so hard on my butt, it turned red. It was hot. But guess what? When I turned 50, I was looking for a spanking. So to me, that's life going full circle. At 5, who gives a shit? But at 55, let's go. I'm going to put it in the spank bank. See you later. So I have an iPhone in which I'm doing this Zoom show. It's the first time I'm doing Zoom on my phone. But I think my phone is jealous because, I don't know about your phone, but my phone always says scam likely when I'm getting an unknown phone number. I was like, well, how likely is it that it's a scam? Because I'm not getting any phone calls returned to me as that was promised. So I think the phone is purposely saying scam likely. I want the phone to say most likely a scam. It's 50%. There's 50% of a chance that it is a scam because people say they're going to call me and they don't call me. I have to blame my iPhone, which is really a me phone. That's not looking out for me. Yes, iPhone. Oh, yeah, I'm learning sign language with my grandson. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Well, you can finish your sentence.
Oh, I don't know what my sentence was. Let me pick a joke from here. What is the sentence? That's it. Oh, got the opening. My opening is no one dies laughing in my audience because I know CPR. Just saying. Okay.
Right.
That's it, Elaine.
Yeah.
Okay. We might have a special guest, but in the meantime, we're going to bring on our headliner. Thank you, Georgia. Thanks for jumping on. People are quitting like crazy here, but it's wonderful. It's perfect because this is the best show ever. These are the people who are meant to be here on a Zen level, right? Okay,
Yes.
Our next comic I met through my former dead, no good,
Jeez.
wonderful ex-husband who ripped me off, and that's how I met Linda and Georgia and Danny and Bruce, because I never would have met you if you didn't leave me homeless and penniless and move back with my parents. That's how life goes. There you have it, Danny. Now you know the truth. Anyway, he's wonderful. He puts on all our shows. He's hysterical. He was on America's Got Talent. And he's generous and gracious. And I wake him up at 7 a.m. whenever I have to tell him something about his show. Here he is, the one and only Danny Decci.
So thank you, Elaine. Thank you. And I hope things are going better for you now and everything. So, wow, sorry about all that. Wow. So, thanks for having me on that. Yeah, Funny Female physicians and patients with patients. Yeah, we'll fix the title later on. And yeah, we're here every first Monday of the month, every first Monday, I guess. So okay, so yeah, I'm not a doctor, and I don't play one on TV or the radio. Yeah, you know what a radio is? Anybody? Okay. Anyway, so but I do a few doctor things. Yeah, I didn't go for my checkup for a while, during the pandemic. So I finally went to the doctor for a checkup, and he noticed I was nervous, and he says to me, "Don't worry, I'm your friend." And I tell him, "Hey, with friends like you, who needs enemas?" Yeah, and they also went to the dentist, and he tells me that we have 2 teeth for the price of 1 special today. I said, "Okay, cool," and then he punched me in the teeth. Hey, let's see what. Oh, so how does an optometrist order at a Chinese restaurant? He goes, let's see, should I have the number 1 or number 2? Number 1 or number 2? Number 3 or number 4? Number 4 or number 5? Okay, that's how you order Chinese restaurant. Okay, cool. All right, a little bit about myself. Yeah, my when I was a kid, my parents were too poor to take us to the aquarium, so instead they took us to Red Lobster. He said, "Table for 4? No, just looking." Yep. And yeah, one of the first toys I got when I was a kid was this astronaut surveyor kit. And I would pretend I was an astronaut on the moon, picking up moon rocks and stuff. But my parents would only let me play with this once a week. I later found out that it was actually a vacuum cleaner. Okay, one more medical thing. So, I wrote a nasty letter to the Rogaine company because their product doesn't work. Yeah, and it tastes terrible. Yeah, although I've been more regular lately, so maybe there's something. So yeah, I got a little nick today. I cut myself shaving because I shave with a broken piece of glass, like a real man. Yeah, not like you sissies in your safety blades and you use shaving cream just like a little girl. Okay, I get it. So anyway, let's see, a little bit of world history. So throughout world history, there have been so many book burnings. And you would think that Amazon Books can come up with a better name than Kindle and Kindle Fire, don't you think? A little bit more about world history. Did you know that the sister of Joan of Arc invented the fire extinguisher? And one more thing about history. Karl Marx, the father of communism, Karl Marx, was actually kicked off the Marx Brothers because he was antisocial and not very funny. So also, so my family, when we were a kid, our family is, we're not dysfunctional, but we're an unfunctional family. The difference between an unfunctional family and a dysfunctional family is an unfunctional family is a little bit quieter and nothing gets done. So I also went to do my taxes. It's the time of the year. Don't forget to do your taxes. It's April. So I went to do my taxes, and the tax accountant, he tells me I owe the government $300. I go, wow, man, $300. So I came up with an idea. I gave him my tax accountant. I gave him an extra $5 for his services, and now I'm getting $7 million back from the government. That worked out. Yeah, so, my friend looks at me the other day. He says, "Hey, Danny, what happened to your eye? Why is it so red and swollen?" And I said, "Well, I got kicked by an ostrich." He says, "Oh, I didn't know you work at a zoo." I said, "No, I don't. I work at Human Resources." Oh yes, I was gonna say. Gee, I got mixed up. So, people ask me, "Hey, Dan, did you ever have sex in public?" I said, "Yeah, one time, but it was an accident. We didn't know that the blinds were open in aisle 7 at the Home Depot." Yeah, and when I was a kid, I when I was a kid, I really liked the cartoons, those cartoon Band-Aids that they had. You know, I had like Bullwinkle and Flintstones and Looney Tune Band-Aids. I used to like weren't putting them on. So I used to get hurt on purpose just so I could put it on those Band-Aids. And I guess that's why now I grew up, I'm into BDSM. So anyway, so also, yeah, and when I was a kid, you know, nowadays they have these educational cartoons or shows for kids, you know, like Blue's Clues and Sesame Street and Barney the Dinosaur. When I was a kid, our educational shows were the Three Stooges and Looney Tunes, and we would learn about real life things. You know, like yeah, like don't never put the bowling ball on the top shelf, and yeah, never toast bread in the bathtub. Yeah. And also never mix the candles with TNT. So, yeah. I recently got those memory foam mattresses. You know, it's like a digital memory foam mattress. It was okay at first, but I'm not crazy about it now. It's yeah. I get home and it starts nagging me, say, "Hey, you're 2 hours late. Where were you?" Yeah, and that was in Cindy last night. Cindy's so nice and gentle. You had some crazy Amazon woman. I'm glad she spanked you. You deserved it. So yeah, I'm that with that. So let's see. So what else? What's this stuff? So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's see. What else was I going to mention? I forgot now too. So oh, okay. You know, they do because of the pandemic. Now we have the handshake is becoming extinct. People are doing this now, and this is, by the way, this is called fist bump, not fisting, fist bump.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they have the Forever 21 store. You know, that women's store, Forever 21. They're going to make another store for men. It's going to be called Forever 12. Yep. Yeah. Oh, a little philosophical question. If a comedian tells a joke and there's no one else to hear, no one else around to hear, will a tree fall on him? Yeah, just something to think about. So, and I also have a hard time taking compliments. Whenever someone gives me a compliment, I punch them in the stomach. Yeah, I'm into that. So, okay, yeah, that's pretty, oh, okay, one more thing on the Teslas. Yeah, they found out that the self-driving Tesla cars, they found a computer glitch. Yeah, they found out there's a couple people in the car having an argument, and one guy says, "Go to hell." The car will drive straight to New Jersey. I'm sorry about New Jersey. Okay.
That's all right.
So, more technology. Yeah. Yeah. They now have a BDSM smartphone. It has slap in the face recognition. Yep. So, okay. One more thing before I go. A couple of things. You know, my father was a peaceful man. Yeah, he would always beat me with an olive branch. So I'll finish it off with a song. Play Popcorn. Number 2 pencil. It just goes on like that. Okay, by the way, this is the same pencil I used to fail a SAT test. Okay, thank you. That's my time. Back to Helene, everybody, your host.
Thank you. Thank you, Danny. Danny, I wasn't able to hear the song. Do you think it's because I don't have my hearing aid in?
Oh, I don't know.
You
Maybe
couldn't hear the song. Did you hear it, Linda, Bruce, Georgia, and Tom? You heard it?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it has to be that noise. You might have the noise reduction thing. There's a noise reduction setting on there. So
Well, if that were true, then I wouldn't be able to hear my own jokes because I got a lot of noise in my jokes. Kidding. Okay, well, moving right along, this show has taken some turns. The doctors, when I texted them, they said, sorry, we have to make a living. We can't make a living in Danny's pricing range, so we can't come on your show tonight. I'm only kidding about one of the doctors. One of the doctors is in a play, and one of the doctors is earning a living. And that's my defending why they didn't show up for my show. I feel totally like a failure, but you know what? The show must go on. I have the most perfect comic for you next. Let's hear it for, oh, and Danny, thank you. Danny headline today. And we have a post headline comic, and he came on spur of the moment after working all day and being up at 6 a.m. Let's hear it for the one and only Tom Padavano.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, I hate going out with a very quiet woman because I get desperate to try to get the woman to talk. So, have you always had two nostrils? 10 toes? Interesting. So, what are you most proud of? Oh, having two nostrils and 10 toes. I bet you've never had laryngitis, have you, honey? And I hate, like, you ever talk to somebody and you can't understand them? So what you finally do is you just yes them to death. This guy was saying to me, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. I turned to my friend and I go, do you have any idea what he was saying? He goes, yeah. He kept saying to you, do you realize you're an idiot? I remember my uncle saying to me, Tom, eat steak. It'll put hair on your chest. It worked for my aunt. Maybe. I'm a nervous fly. They told me that the flight I was on was nonstop. I said, it better stop eventually. I'm nervous. Stop. Don't tell me that. Oh, there's this plot I heard. The FBI said that hackers are going to go into our bank accounts and take our money any day now. So I withdrew my $1.65. They're not going to get all my money. No way. Now, you know what's kind of sad? The last time I was held accountable. It's not good, you know. Oh, yeah. What else can I tell you? Oh, I have a disgusting apartment. I got one of those robot vacuums, you know. As soon as I put it in and took him out of the box, he jumped out the window. So I looked down at him. I said, yo, I'm not cleaning that up. Not going to do that. No way, no how. Oh, I remember as a kid, my uncle Chooch, telling me nursery rhymes, but his own version. Yo, Tom, Mary had a little lamb. Fleece was white as snow. And everywhere that Mary went, the cops knew about it. See, Tom, they were following Mary because that lamb she stole from little Bo Peep. Crazy things I had to hear from this guy. And, you know, when I was a kid, he used to play that game with me, Gotcha Nose. Remember that game, Gotcha Nose? He doesn't play that with me anymore. Now he plays Gotcha Wallet. Pin the tail on the pit bull. It's not fun. Oh, in New York, they have a school for beggars. A school for beggars. See, I already know how to beg because I was in a relationship. But I mean, a school for beggars. I mean, this is crazy. They even have an advanced class for beggars that only want to accept Venmo. That should be pretty good. Now, I remember when I was a kid, I was 7 years old. I remember it so clearly, saying to my mother, Mom, am I adopted? Not yet, but I'm working on it. Then I remember one time saying, Mommy, I wanted a toy truck for my birthday. I didn't get one. I'm upset. She, shut up. You just turned 50. The terrible thing when that happened. I was an idiot in school, always getting left back. I remember in third grade, though, they did excuse me to register for the draft. That was pretty cool. 18 and being in the third grade. That was a lot of fun. I have a lot of bugs in my apartment. So I ran out of Raid. So I sprayed a cockroach with lemon pledge. It died, but had a great shiny finish. Today is National Skeptics Day. But is it really?
That's my favorite.
I know. Helene, how much time do I have?
A few more minutes because you're so funny.
Oh, what can I tell you? Oh, the job I had, you might have heard about this one. If I made a mistake, my boss would say, Tom, look at the mistake you made. If she made a mistake, oh, Tom, look at the mistake we made. So I said, well, boss, look at the ugly dress we're wearing. I got fired. Other boss, a real Mama Luke, a chooch, a gavone, you know what I mean? Every day he'd say, so, working hard or hardly working? I grabbed his neck and said, well, boss, breathe harder, honey, breathing. I got fired. And for a while, I was an exterminator, but that job I had to quit. Breathing those pesticides affected me romantically. A woman could not turn me on unless she crawl under the stove. That's not good, you know. I saw my doctor today, and he said, Tom, listen, I was going to give you an exam, but from looking at you, come back tomorrow. We'll give you an autopsy. That's discouraging news, you know. And I remember, though, he said I was iron deficient. So he gave me all these iron pills, so many of them. One day I'm walking through the park. A bunch of Boy Scouts are following me. I said to the troop leader, what's going on? He said, I don't know. We're trying to go north and everybody's compass points to you. So he definitely overdid the iron pills, you know. Now, I went to this wedding, half Italian and half Jewish, and they did everything 50-50, which was cool. The men wear yarmulkes. On the yarmulkes, and they had Pepito's restaurant. And, you know, at a Jewish ceremony, the groom steps on the glass. Here's the groom is Italian. He smacked it. Well, listen, this was a wonderful surprise being invited here. I don't know what I said, but I'm glad I said it. Thank you and enjoy.
Thank you, Tom. Aren't you going to say this is the, you've given us a lot of strife?
I forgot that. Yeah, see? Because he used
Could
to
you
get
say
up.
it? Because Georgia might not know it.
Oh, I think she, well, listen, you've been a wonderful audience, confused, but wonderful. I sincerely hope you've had as much fun and pleasure as I've had tension and emotional strain. I'm gonna go tonight and
Thank
get
you.
what's done.
Thank you for being sports by jumping on to a show and making it wonderful. Did you all have a good time at the show?
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Helene, for hosting.
There's the sound. There's the sound of the show is over. Danny, thank you. You could go back to earn a living. Marlene could earn a living. Lynette could get her teeth drilled. And we all had a wonderful show.
Thank you for having me last minute.
Thanks, Helene.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Good to be
everybody.
had.
Thanks, Linda and Bruce and Tom and Georgia. And thanks for, yeah, we'll see you soon, I guess, one show or another. Okay.
As they say, Little Rascals, the high sign. Bye, Krabby.